Well, hello all. Thanks a lot for inviting me. Sorry for my English. I know that I need to improve, but I think I can communicate. Okay, first of all, sometimes it's difficult to explain why a financial institution like BBVA is working in Internet of Things. For me, it was super difficult in the last 4 years trying to explain to the board members why we need to start working in Internet of Things to prepare to the next age. Okay. My name is Kuchkovsky. I'm the CTO of KickStart Team. I work in the new digital business department. Our challenge is different from other BBVA department. We need to find different revenue streams to try to adapt and the route from inside. Also working with different startups, making agreement and different deals. But let's start with the presentation. Okay. Internet of Things is not new for bank. In this picture, I don't know what happened. I want to show a point of sale. Point of sale is a thing. The bank used to manage point of sale in the last 15 or 20 years. At the end, point of sale is a thing with a SIM card, and we need to manage hundreds of thousands of them. So Internet of Things is sometimes the people don't think in this way, but it's not new for banks. Also, we have ITMs. That is also a thing to try to manage. We need to control the cash in different ATM and also the status. And it's really similar to try to manage sensor of things because the ATM also has sensors. But we are also preparing for the next era, and also we have different application, mobile banking application for wearables, smartwatches, and we are also making different experiments. In our new headquarters in Las Tablas, all the La Vela is a small smart city with more than 6,000 people. So it's bigger than some cities in different places of the world. And we have all the rooms, all the spaces with sensor, trying to be smart. So also it's a really good example how we are trying to prepare for the Internet of Things era. And not only the big project like the headquarters, we spent the last 2 years making a lot of experiments. I want to share with you the why and how, trying to understand the difficulties and the opportunities for a bank or for financial institution in the Internet of Things ecosystem. This is an example of our innovation center. We put a lot of sensors in different rooms, in different areas, to try to measure the people, the light, the luminosity, the temperature, and try to have insight. For example, how we can put better lights to improve the productivity for our teams. Other example that we tried the last year to try to experiment and create new products is trying to add the energy cost of the rooms and of the spaces to the project. It was a super cool experiment. Also, we experiment with blockchain, trying to join these two things. I will talk a little bit more about this later. But my main point is to try to understand what is the role for the banks in this new era, as I said. Also, with different experiments, we spent a lot of time the last year talking with a lot of big players like IBM, Microsoft, Amazon, trying to understand what is our new architecture, and if our new architecture of data is going to be prepared for the new number of huge information of sensor, and we think that we are now prepared, but also we are still working in our architecture. Okay, And at this point, when I was preparing the presentation, I was thinking how to explain more of our projects. And as I say, I work in a special department inside of the bank, and we need to find a new revenue stream. So instead of thinking how it's going to be the payments of the classical approach of Internet of Things, we are going to have a lot of sensors, a lot of new things, like Cisco, Ericsson, a lot of companies is telling to us in the last 5 years. I want to share with you one of our dimension and one of our vision of the future. Of course, we are working in the other dimension and the other vision, but I want to share with you this one. And this is the question that we make, I think, 8 months ago. And with this question, we start thinking hard in a different vision of the future. I'm sure that you have, some of you is going to have similar vision of this future. Okay, what is going to be the financial needs of the things? And in this point, I want to think about humans, but more in things. Okay, a thing maybe need to pay in autonomous way. An electric car, when he needs to charge, he's going to need a wallet, maybe a credit scoring, and also a payment system. I think also is going to need to collect, to accept payments, and also to measure risks and calculate also risk scoring. And your thing needs to give you advice of when you can make some things and some activities, and how it's going to increase your risks, or with your family, with your insurance. And for example, in the most autonomous concept of things, what is going to be the dynamic insurance of the things, depending on weather, depending on what is the proposal of, in this scenario, of the drone, of the trip. Okay, and after thinking hard with the design thinking approach a lot, we found a Nokia quote. Nokia talk about programmable world, and we were thinking hard in this scenario, but after spending also different weeks, at the end for us is more like programmable world is a programmable, autonomous, decentralized intelligence world. And I want to try to explain the different topics and the different opportunities in our mind for financial institution and for other players. Okay, programmable. Now, I'm sure that you think a lot about the programmable money. This concept starts with Bitcoin and after with blockchain. But I don't know if you know about an application called If This Then That. Some of you know this? Okay. It's a little geek application, but others are trying to create a better user experience and also to mix with the things. There are different approaches in this scenario. The first approach is a human can program and define rules for the things. For example, you can define the better light system, or what is the best moment to put your wash machine, depending on the cost of the energy. And you can define the rules. And again, as BBVA, we start making question of what is our role in this new scenario. We can have different examples of rules. The other rules scenario is to try to define rules so the things can work alone. And this is more the autonomous concept. I'm sure that a lot of, I think all of you heard about the driverless car, the autonomous car. 2 weeks ago, I read an article talking about that we are going to see before the cars, the autonomous trucks. Again, if you start thinking in trucks, you need to figure out what is going to be the financial needs of a truck, autonomous truck. But not only thinking in the trucks, you need to think in all the interaction with other entities that the truck is going to make. For example, if the truck needs to go to a logistic place, automatic logistics place. The truck is going to need to communicate and make decision about what is the best place to let the items inside the trucks, or other kind of decision. Of course, if we can know about the weather, and we can make prediction about the weather, and about the we can also apply dynamic insurance to the trip of the truck. But one of the concepts that I love more in the last 10 months or 12 months, and we spend a lot of time trying to think in Internet of Things with blockchain, is the blockchain concept, and also mixing with the fog computing concept. In this scenario, we used to think most in houses, in people, not in corporation or company. And if you try to mix fog computing, Internet of Things, and blockchain, you start thinking in a different way of how it's going to be the world in the next years. For example, how many of you know about the smart contracts concept? Only a little one. Okay. In the last year, we have an Internet of Things office in BBVA, and also we launched a crypto department trying to think and work with blockchain. And in the last 6 months, we joined these two departments and put the developers and the engineers working together, trying to create different proofs of concept, mixing, as I say, sensor, Internet of Things, blockchain with different technologies, wallets, and applying a smart contract to the thing. So the two concepts before, the programmable and the autonomous concept, we start making it real, of course, with a small proof of concept, because the regulation is, we need to talk with the regulator, and we are talking with the regulator to understand if we can use crypto tokens to try to manage the thing. But in my opinion, it's one of the most important concepts trying to apply to Internet of Things ecosystem. How many of you know Ethereum or Slug ID? Only one? I recommend to you to take a look to ethereum.org. It's a blockchain platform. They call that more like a decentralized application platform. And they create with an open source community a blockchain not for money, for asset, to try to control asset and things, virtual and physical things. And there are two companies now. Filament is a small company that are trying to create things with node of blockchains inside. So you can create things with sensor, and you can connect directly these things to a blockchain. Why this is super important for us? Because in this moment, we talk about, and in different sessions, and I'm sure that you are going to hear how difficult is the interoperability, how important is the standard, so we can deploy a global network of things. Of course, there are different approaches and different opportunities, but in my opinion, this is one of the most important ones. Why? Because they are creating a factor standard and interoperability, so if all the things have the ability to connect to a blockchain, Ethereum in this case, all the things have the same protocol, the same standard, and more important thing, they have the ability with a smart contract to communicate with each other. Slug IT is also, in my opinion, one of the disruption around Internet of Things in the last 10 months. They create the concept, they start putting a blockchain node in a smart lock. Okay, I'm sure that all you know about the smart lock system to try to open your door with your phone, but they apply a different approach. They start thinking with a very simple concept, but super powerful. They start thinking about why the wallet of a house, or the smart lock, the owner is the person and the owner is not the house. So they create a smart lock so you can put in your house, in your bicycle, in your car, and in this moment your house has a wallet. So you can pay to the house, and the house has a smart contract, so the house can make decision about what is the reputation of the people that the house is going to let to get into the house. And also, the house with this wallet is going to manage the payment, the insurance, the credit, the loans. You can apply this concept for houses, for cars, for things, for different assets. And if you think in the sharing economy or in the money economy, also for us is one of the most important topics thinking about the financial need of Internet of Things. Why? It's because we are thinking who are going to be the players in this new scenario and who is going to the one that is going to manage the asset and also provide the financial need of the asset, and also most important thing, the relation between person or individuals, things, governments, corporation or groups. As I'm going to repeat, the right of ownership and the right of food use is a super important concept for us. One more topic that surprised to us a lot in the last 3 weeks is the DIO. DIO is a decentralized autonomous organization. They create on the top of Ethereum. The concept of the decentralized autonomous organization is to try to have different kind of organization and different relation with contractor, providers, stakeholders, and also things. The example is you can launch and run an organization, and you can define and program a smart contract, so the things to define the interaction between people, contractor, and most important in this scenario, things. To try to end, the last topic I want to talk about is the artificial intelligence. I'm sure that all you heard about the possibilities of the artificial intelligence and how Google, Facebook, PayPal, and a lot of companies are spending huge amounts of money trying to define the next generation of artificial intelligence. I also know that in the last 13 years, we heard about this opportunity 2 or 3 times. But in my opinion, and in our opinion, maybe this time is going to happen, and we need to prepare it for that. Why I'm going to repeat is so important for that? Because if you join the last 3 concepts, the programmable, the autonomous, the decentralized, and you join with artificial intelligence, not only machine learning, the possibilities and the different services that you need to apply or your opportunities in this new scenario change a lot. Because the role that you can imagine that you are going to add in an ecosystem as a financial payment provider, loan provider, financial institution, or other provider is going to change, because artificial intelligence can add or can take the role that you are thinking or that you think that is your opportunity or the opportunity in your company in this scenario. It's one of the reasons that is super important for us, and also we are spending a lot of time understanding how is the abilities to put intelligence in things or in the network. And for last, I lost these pictures, it's about the Blade Runner film, trying to give a thought for you, that is the Android chip, the Android dream with Android chip. But thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I have a question, because you are a bank, you have the money, and do you remember that we have been creating a company 10 minutes ago? Are you ready to invest in the company?
Of course, we are ready to analyze the investment. Not really. We are spending a lot of time. One of our division in digital business, we have the 2 divisions. One is Propel, it's a venture capital based in San Francisco and London, and the other one is an M&A department. We make acquisition in the last month. One is Holby, it's a Finland bank, vertical bank, and it's a really good concept because it's a bank for doers and makers, and is related to Internet of Things for the doers and makers of the new generation of things. So I don't know if I answer your question. Some more questions?